Welcome, welcome, welcome to Learning Reaper. I'm your host, X.E.L.O. And today I'm actually going to be showing you how to create 808 slides inside of Reaper using Resamplematic 5000 and a couple of other tools to show you how to actually make them inside of Reaper. Let's go. All right, so here we are in Reaper, and this is the piece theme that I'm using with a couple modifications. So we're gonna make sure that we get a nice 808. One of the keys to actually doing some really nice slides and glides and stuff like that is having a really good 808. I do have some inside of my Smash kit, and I also have some inside of the Basics kit, which is the new kit that I just put out. You can check it out. The link should be below in the description, so you can actually download that Basics kit. And I'm going to use the 808 number 9 inside there. This is what it sounds like. So I'm going to pull up the Resamplematic 5000. So I can just drag this over Resamplematic 5000, and I'm going to drag over the Komplete Kontrol. All right, so we're going to start with the Resamplematic 5000. And I want to pull up some tools just so you can kind of see what's going on. And I'm going to pull up a tuner. These are the tuners that I actually like to use. So this G tune, and I like to use Reatune. These are the two that I like to use. You don't have to use them if you don't want to, but I like to see the notes actually being played. You can also use it with the M tuner, which is also free. But the two I like to go to is G tune because it's really small and it kind of is out of the way, or Reatune, which actually comes standard or stock with Reaper. So here is the Reatune, and here is the G tune. What's good about the Reatune is if you right click on it, you can have a display in your mixer of the Reatune, which is really cool, or you can even have it on your track. I'm going to pull up the Resamplematic, and if you're not familiar with it, this is what the Resamplematic looks like. I have my own setup on here, so I'm going to change this to a default. All right, so what we're going to do is actually drag over the 808 into the Resamplematic 5000. All right, and as you see, it changed the mode to note shifted. This is what we want it to be on. Because usually it'll start off on this sample ignores, but we're going to do it on the note semitone. We're going to turn down this minimum volume to infinity, so that way we can have different velocities for the notes when we're playing them. And for this pitch start, we're going to start it on C4. So I'm going to change the note to C4. And this is one of the good things actually about the Resamplematic 5000 is that it'll automatically detect the pitch. If you hit on this to detect the pitch, it'll automatically detect the pitch of the sample you put in there, which is really, really cool, right? But let's say it was out of tune, you would be able to see it inside of the inside of this Reatune or the G tune. So I'm going to play a note. This is the C. As you see, the C1 is actually playing, so you'll be able to see it. If you're actually in this Reatune and you don't see your 808s playing, make sure this window is set to over 100, because otherwise, if it's usually defaulted to, I believe, 30, as you see, it doesn't show up on here at all. So you want to make sure that you'll be able to see it. So I usually leave it defaulted at 100. And like I said, I usually save all these things, hit this little plus sign, and I'll save it as a default, right? So that way I'll have it on here. So if it was another key, you will be able to see it with using these tools. And this is what I was saying in the beginning of the video, a couple of tools that you guys may need just in order to make sure you have your 808s in tune, because there's nothing worse than an out of tune 808 inside of any kind of song. So you want to make sure your 808 is tuned, and when it slides, it'll slide into the right tunes as well. All right, I'm going to skip ahead a little bit down here to where it says obey note offs. Click on this. Right, and we're going to change this max velocity to 1. So now, if I play a note, it'll cut itself off as soon as I let go of the keyboard. You can also do this on this virtual Midi keyboard. So if you don't have yourself like a Midi keyboard of any sort, you can also use your typing keyboard. I can play notes on here as well. As you hear, it's not sliding. It's just going right to that other note. But you hear that pop in there? When I let it go, this note off release will actually fix that. It took me a while to figure this out, so this will help with that clicking sound. Still there a little bit, so let's go up to 2. And that in itself is a lot better. All right, so 5 milliseconds seems to be the trick right now. And then you also have your portamento here. And the portamento is what allows the 808 to actually slide to the next note. So I usually like to put this on around 8, around 6 to 8 is usually where I like to have it. Let's leave it on 8 right now. So if I go from Q to the I, so that way you can actually slide your notes using even the regular typing keyboard. Right? So we have that option to do that as well. So I'm going to make a nice little 4-bar loop here, and let's see if we can get everything set up here. All right, I'm going to stretch it out just so we can kind of see it a little bit better as well. So let's see if we can kind of get a rhythm here. All right, let's just do that really simple here. I'm going to duplicate that across. So there's several ways to kind of do a slide in here. We can do a slide going up, we can do a slide going down. So let's see if we can just kind of add one at the end here. And I am in the C major, so let's change this to a minor. Let's give it a little more life. And you see it kind of slid up to that line. So let's stretch this out just a little bit more and see if it gives us a better slide. Right? And it's just that simple to kind of add the slide, and you can hear it sliding up to that other note. So it just kind of matters where you want those slides to actually be. So let's say we wanted one here, right? So let's go and put one here, right? And I'm going to split these. And the way I split them is there's a action to split split notes. So I was able to split it to whatever the grid is. So splitting it at that 1/16th. And I also have a shortcut control in U, and that would be just like in FL Studio where you can do that as well. So let's say we wanted to go up an octave here. Let's go here. We're going to do that same slice. I'm going to use Control U this time. And this time I'm going to bring this one down. And what we want to do, I'm going to zoom in on here just so you guys can see. So what you want to do is hold down Shift, and this will allow you to kind of shrink down your note. So we just wanted to kind of go really quickly into that other note. So basically it's going to slide from this note up to here really quickly. Let's hear how it sounds. All right, and that is usually how you would slide notes inside the Resample-matic. So let's say you wanted to go down with the note. I'm going to click in here and I'm just going to stretch this out. Let's make it like 2 bars. All right, so I'm just adding a couple of notes in here just so you can kind of see it kind of go up and down with the slides. So I went up here and then I moved this one up with a quicker slide. Then I went down here, and I'm going up at the end of these bars. So let's hear how that sounds. And this is how you would make 808 slides inside of Reaper with the Resample-Matic 5000. I want to show you the complete control because this is what I usually use when I'm doing my 808s, and I'll show you a couple reasons why. Here is the complete control. Like I said, this is free to download. You just get your, go to Native Instruments, go to Complete Start, and you can download this for absolutely free. And basically you can just drag and drop that same 808 inside here. A big benefit of actually using the Resample-Matic 5000 is that it automatically detects the pitch of, or detects the pitch of your notes that you put in there. Whereas the complete control does not, so you would more than likely have to rely on this G tune to actually make sure your notes are correct. So as you see, it's showing me that it's C, which is good. So if it wasn't C, I would have to go right down here to this pitch and adjust my pitch here. But it's good to go right now. You want to change this from one shot to ADSR because it gives you your attack, sustain, decay, and release on here. So you can change those at will. One of the really great benefits of actually using this is the option for the loop. Sorry, so if I turn on the loop, I'll have an option to loop a section and keep it going to make like an infinite 808 if I wanted to. So I can move this in. I'm going to kind of zoom in here. And I want to pull this in to about there. Right? I have 1, 2, 3, 4. So we don't need 5. We want it to kind of be like a loop. So 4 would be a perfect kind of loop. And if I hit the key, now you have an infinite 808 just from doing that. And this is one of the reasons I really like to use the complete control over the Resample-Matic 5000. Because if I pull up the Resample-Matic 5000, and it has a loop option on here, but there's like no ending point to where you can end it to make it loop again. I'm not sure if I'm saying that correctly. But I mean, you may be able to do it. Let's see. I'll pull this in, right? And I go to my loop, and I want the loop to start. All right. So now on the Resample-Matic 5000, maybe if I fade it, let's see. It's close. Let's see if I can get this. There it goes. What do you know? You can do it in the Resample-Matic 5000. So that's really cool to know. Glad I actually even tried that in this video. I wasn't able to do it before, and I just figured let's try it. All right, so now we have an infinite 808 inside of Resample-Matic as well. All right. For the complete control, you can go up here to this little knob, and you can change this to a legato. And now you have an option to use the glide. So I have it set, I believe it's at 4 milliseconds right now. Yes, it is set at 4 milliseconds, which is good. All right, and so now I have this. I'm going to take this loop off though. I don't need it on. So now what I want to do is copy this one and go down. So I'm going to hold down Control, click on this, drag it down. I'm going to solo this one. So now you can only hear the complete control. All right, and that is the complete control. So I'm just going to play the resample-matic one. All right, so it still has that little bit of pop in there. Like I said, this is why I kind of use the complete control a little bit more, because it's kind of hard to tame that right off the bat. All right, and I think that the complete control slides a little bit better than the resample-matic 5000 as well. All right. So with that being said, that's pretty much how you would actually do this inside of Reaper. I've shown you two options to actually do. Both of them are absolutely free inside of Reaper to actually do the 808 slides. I'm going to give you an example of me using complete control inside of a track using the slides. All right, so now I basically just laid down the foundation of the 808 of how I want it inside of the track. And then I will want to move around and see what I can find to get it to work with the track itself. So let's do that. I'm going to change this to a minor. And let's see if we can get something going. And for these, I'm just going to kind of copy these. And I'm going to kind of individually move them around. Let's try that. And what I'm going to do is hold down Shift and kind of move them over a little bit just so they'll slide on those notes. Right, and all I did was just nudge these over a little bit. So I'm going to zoom in so you can kind of see. So all they are is nudged over a little bit just to give them that option to slide up to these notes. Right? So this is everything that I've basically been telling you in this video itself. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you learned how to actually do the 808 slides inside of Reaper. I think this is the easiest way to get it and understand how to do it. You could use the resample-matic 5000, or you can use my choice, which would be the complete control. You can even use FL Studio inside of Reaper to do this. I know you want me to show you how to do it. All right, let me see if I can find a way. All right, so what I'm doing, this is FL Studio. I'm gonna put in the sampler here. This is the 808 that I'm using inside of Reaper as well. So what I wanna do is go to this section here. Let's go and turn off the attack, turn up the hold all the way, turn down the decay, the sustain, and the release. And your 808 should be ready to go. It should be tuned to C, at least from what I know. In FL, how you would go to the tuning is you would right click in here, then you want to go to edit in audio editor. And here you want to go to this icon here, and you want to detect pitch region. And it's saying it's on C, which is good. This is what we wanted. So let's go and open up the piano roll. And I'm going to copy this MIDI. So I'm going to hold down Control and Alt and drag this into this section. And it'll add that MIDI. Let's pull it up inside of FL. All right. So what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to pull over this Perk2 into MIDI. Drop that in here. So now this should be the same as it is inside of Reaper, but we need to make sure that these are changed to slide notes. So let's do that. I'm going to slide these. And it doesn't let you do them all at once. You have to kind of do them individually, which, you know, hey, it is what it is. All right. So let's hear how it sounds inside of Reaper. Right? So that is with the FL Studio one. Like I said, you could do this with FL Studio if you wanted to. If you have FL Studio installed, you can kind of just copy the MIDI over into FL Studio, put your 808 in there, put their slides and glides on there, and have it your way. All right, and with that being said, that's pretty much the end of this video. If you do want me to do a further review of FL inside of Reaper, let me know below in the comment section. But yeah, pretty much that's the end of this video. If you do have like any questions or comments, please leave them below in the comment section. Make sure you guys are giving this video a thumbs up. Make sure you're liking, subscribing to the channel, seeing that it is still a brand new channel. And I want to thank you guys for me reaching 1,000 subscribers on this channel. It wouldn't be possible without you. So I really do thank you from the bottom of my heart. But with that being said, that's the end of this video. And I want to thank you guys for watching Learning Reaper. Till next time. Peace. Hey, you. Yes, you. YouTube wants you to watch this video next, man. Go ahead and click it. I'll wait. Nah, I'm just playing. I'm not going to keep waiting here. All right. I will see you in the next video, though. Peace.